Today's Midday Kentucky Cooking segment brought to you by Creative Kitchen and Bath, where you will always cook in style.
Welcome back. Chef Allison Davis here in the Wild Thyme Kitchen, and I am cooking up a pasta dish today. This is a perfect kind of recipe for Meatless Monday, if you will. A lot of times I try to have like maybe a vegetarian meal in the mix, just to kind of cut down on my the meat, and this is one of my favorite pasta dishes. I say that every time, but I just love food. I can't help it. But we're going to use a parpadelle pasta that I'm going to be cooking. I picked this up at Trader Joe's, and I love this because it's all seasoned, and after you take it out of the pasta water, it is good to go. This is a lemon pepper parpadelle, so it's going to have that nice bright citrus lemon flavor, and a little bit of that black pepper. So we'll add this in just a little bit. This parpadelle pasta also cooks really fast, so it's honestly like ready in about 5 minutes versus traditional dried pasta that takes about 10 to 12. All right, so we're going to make a nice little sauce here. I'm starting with some coconut oil. We're going to add in some onions, and I'm going to ask my cameraman to hand me a spatula because I forgot it. But we're going to start sauteing these onions a little bit, and then I'm going to add in some mushrooms. I'm going to wait to add in my garlic. Magic of TV, just like that. He's multi-talented, this camera guy. All right, so our onions are sauteing a little bit, and we're going to go in with mushrooms. So the mushrooms are really going to serve kind of as the meat in this dish. So I just sliced up some mushrooms, and we're going to saute those off. Mushrooms have a good bit of water in them, so we want to kind of release that water and let these kind of sweat down a bit. All right, and then in addition to that, we're going to add some garlic. But like I said, we want to wait because garlic will definitely start to burn and get too crisp. So we want to kind of sweat those mushrooms down first. We can go ahead and season them with a little salt and pepper. While that's working, I'm going to prep up our pasta water, and I can't stress the importance enough of salting your pasta water. Even though this pasta is already seasoned with that lemon and that pepper, it's really important to salt your pasta water. One, it's going to increase the boiling temperature, but two, there's probably more salt than you were used to. This is the first chance that you get to really season that pasta. You want your pasta water to always kind of have that sea, taste like the sea. All right, so our onions are sauteing here, and we're going to go in with just a little bit of garlic. And this sauce is going to be all in one. So once our pasta comes out of the water, this just goes on our pasta and dinner's ready. So the other great thing about this is super quick and easy to prepare. We're going to add some aromatics or just some fresh herbs. So I'm just going to kind of strip some thyme leaves off of the stalks and throw in some fresh thyme. And then while our onions are sweating, as soon as you start to see browning and you start to hear a little more of that sizzle, which we're starting to get to, that is the indication that the water is being cooked out of our mushrooms. All right, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of that garlic. And now we're just going to start to work in those mushrooms. You can see how they're starting to kind of sizzle up, starting to kind of caramelize a little bit. And the longer you go, the better, honestly, because this is just going to brown. But for time's sake, we're going to go right on in with a little chicken stock. So once you start to get that browning, you would take your chicken stock, and then that's going to help deglaze the bottom of the pan, okay? So deglazing just takes all those brown bits off the bottom and then puts that right back into your sauce. So we have our chicken stock, and now we're going to go in with just a little bit of cream, and we're going to let that reduce for just a bit. And then basically we're almost to the finish line with this sauce. Season it with a little salt and pepper. We've got our thyme in there, and really all the flavor is going to come from this blue cheese. So this is a blue cheese sauce. If you're not a fan of blue cheese, you could probably throw in some goat cheese or maybe Parmesan and take it more like the Alfredo route. But I love the blue cheese with the mushrooms on this. So we'll crumble up this blue cheese into the sauce, and then we'll crumble some on top. Put that over top of our pasta and sprinkle with a little bit of fresh Parmesan and parsley. I'll show you the finished dish here in just a second, but you know where to find this recipe. You can go to Midday Kentucky /recipes tab and click on this recipe and many more. You can find me on Instagram at Chef Allison Davis. You're watching Midday Kentucky. We'll be right back after this short break.